Hello, students. We want to welcome you to our 5th week of class. This is going really fast. We're about halfway done. The heavier work is still ahead of us. We've got a case study paper to work on, and we have our final paper, which is due a week after that. But I want to encourage you to keep at it here, particularly if we have any break time coming up. Work on it. Let's get ahead and stay on top of this. But I hope you're doing well. I hope we're starting to be in the middle of winter. Hope it's not too cold for you where you're at, and that this is just a good time, and you're enjoying this time of your life. A couple of things I want to talk about this week. Number one is your late work. I do accept all work late except for the discussion. And the reason we don't accept that late is like you're having a discussion in some place, a life discussion somewhere, and you're just not there. So there's no way for people to interact with you when you turn that in late. And so you don't get credit for that. But you can turn everything else late in. So I want to encourage you to do that. And in my late work policies, because I really want you to do it, it's 1 grade deduction when it's late. Some students kind of just wait to the end and do a whole lot of their work, but it's not the best way because they don't get the feedback from me, they don't get to improve, and they just miss parts of it. So stay on top of your work, but you can turn in late work. So I want to encourage you, any downtime you have with the holidays coming up, to go ahead and do that. Second thing I want to talk about, so this week we're talking about ethical egoism, situational ethics. And the case study this week is on the right to life. And I know we're an evangelical school, and most of us are going to come down on the right to life versus the abortion debate. But I want to encourage you to show great grace, great kindness, and great mercy. I know we had the discussion on homosexuality, and I appreciated your tenor on that, but I want to encourage that. You can be right and still be wrong if your attitude's not right. And my wife reminded me of that passage in 1 Corinthians 13 where it says, and these three remain, talks about love, and these three remain, faith and love, hope, faith, and love, and the greatest of these is love. He said the greater than our faith is our love. And if you look at faith as a larger kind of extension of what we believe, our worldview, our faith view, I'll often ask people, what's your faith background? Wanting to know their denomination. But he's saying here that our love is greater than what we believe, which is a real interesting, challenging kind of a concept. So I want to encourage you to show grace and mercy in this discussion we have on the right to life. The second thing, in your writing assignment this week, you're talking about stealing in the church. And it's a little different this week because I want you to apply the decision-making model. So in week 4, I talk about your final paper, and I talk about the decision-making model in the video there. So I want you to apply that decision-making model to this case study in week 5 on stealing in the church. And it's time consuming to do it right, you guys. This isn't your normal weekly writing assignment because I'm wanting to get you used to using the decision-making model, and we're doing this in a smaller way. So there is a decision-making model in your book, in your text. We're not using that one. We're using the one that I present in week 4, and so that's the model that we're going to use for your final paper. And we're going to use it for this first step in our writing assignment this week. So again, you're writing on stealing in the church, and you're applying the case study of identifying the different stakeholders, identifying the principles that they're supporting their position, looking at different alternatives, and looking at the Bible. What does the Bible say about the different sides of the Bible say about this? And then what's your conclusion? So anyway, use the decision-making model for our case study this week. And then lastly, because this is our 5th week, and this assignment is due our 7th week, okay, your case study. So I want you this week to send me your topic for your case study. You may want to send it in a paragraph form. This is a case study, this is what I'm looking at. And here's why, because sometimes students do things that really aren't an ethical issue, and it's easier to a case study to work on is when there's really moral divide, when there's two different ethical positions that you have to wrestle with, right to life versus right to choose. Big ethical principles, right? And that's where the challenge of ethics is when you have significant ethical principles and how to solve them. And again, my view is the real challenge of ethics is of a case study is finding the principles that are at stake. But send me your topic. I don't want you to get too big with the topic. I don't want you to get too small with the topic, and I want it to be one that's really appropriate. Use one that's involved in ministry, an ethical issue that you've had in ministry. Maybe you want to use the challenge you had when we first started this class. But anyway, submit that to me, and so I can clear it for you to go ahead and begin writing on it. Again, it's week 5. This is going to go really quick. So with that, God bless you, and have a good week.